Ta-da! And we're there. Okay, cool. Sorry for the jumping around there. All right. And we're finally back. Unfortunately, seems like Flight Sim had some issues as of, what was it, this whole last week. People not being able to log on, and seems like it finally picked back up last night for me anyway. Um, so we're going to pick up where we left off. I think I'm going to do this flight in the Starship just because I love this thing. But we're going to make some quick changes. No. Go. Performance numbers are quite right, but that's all right. Not too worried about that. Hopefully be a VFR flight. Number 67 Bravo Papa. I believe that is the tail number. Whoops. No, that should go here. Number. Got a new keyboard and just getting used to how it all works. Just double check my audio here. That's looking all right. Okay. Let's flight number. This can be deleted. Cool. Nav equipment. Standard. Got DME, ADF, GNSS, ILS, VOR. Perfect. We definitely have a mode C, squawk and altitude, schedule. This is a GA flight. Fuel payload. Passengers is 0. Not going to worry too much about that. But this will be our flight for the day. Taken from Yokoshima. We're headed to Kumijima. Probably butchered both those. But this will take us to kind of the point in Japan where we're going to be stepping off. We're going to be heading over from Japan over to Taiwan. And I think we're going to go down, head down towards Australia. Probably make this loop, come down here, circle Australia, maybe explore it. I know it's, I'm told there's lots to see down there. I've never been, so not sure. But kind of circle back around and then make our way through some islands and back up, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. But we'll see how that goes. So let's get a route here. We're going to send to ATC and avionics. I'm going to change our departure to our GA ramp. And I think I'm going to change the time of day because I want to do this flight at night. Oh, look at that. It didn't load in at all. It's not what flight plan is. Let's try that again. Interesting. Well, maybe it's just not showing correctly in here. But if not, we can make that change in Sim. We're gonna go. Let's go for noon with the real world flight conditions at that time. All right, let's get in here. There's the wonderful Starship. Let's hop aboard and start doing our wonderful checklists. Make sure this. I wish that would work. We're going to put you on. Payload. No, 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 no. Go. Now the Starship, you're supposed to pull from your main tanks into your aft tanks. You're always supposed to start with fuel, your main amount of fuel in your main tanks. Makes sense, I suppose. Temperature-wise, not bad. 19 here. Okay. The cabin door closed. All those things are removed. One thing I am going to bring up, though, is this guy here, GTN 750. This is a helpful little tool, that's for sure. One of the reasons why I got this was because of the integrations. It does have SimBrief, and it does have charts, and that, because of the pop-out, basically now means for Xbox users like myself that we can literally have SimBrief and charts for everything. So I'm gonna import the flight, which I did put in SimBrief. And there is what should have come into the home screen. But anyhow, let's run through our checklist real quick. If you've watched my channel before or watched any of my streams, you'll know that we have flown the Starship a number of times. probably the dominant aircraft currently on my channel. Because it just kind of fits with a world tour situation. You know, it's got the range. It can operate from runways that are can land on apparently 2200, but it needs 3500 to take off at maximum weight. So if you're lighter, being that I'm not running with any passengers, kind of somewhat loosely simulating a world tour flight done by a real Beechcraft Starship captain, who I'm actually reading his book about, Dallas Kachan, I believe his name is. It was pretty cool seeing all that kind of stuff, and sort of semi-experiencing what he did. Just kind of neat. So, run through this. You guys have probably heard this all before. These are all removed. Emergency secure. Airstore doors closed and locked. Circuit breakers are in. Check those for me. They look good? Yeah, thanks. Cool. Small set of circuit breakers down here. And a whole whack load of them right over here. These are a duplicate of the ones on the other side. This plane has virtually duplicated systems throughout the entire aircraft. Because at the time it was very sophisticated, so they needed to make sure that it was all working correctly, I guess. I'll figure that out in a minute here. These are all how I want them. Audio panel, looking good. Static source set to norm, oxygen supply. Come on. Oxygen masks we can test. You can hear the I am your father. Ice protection is off. Landing gear is down. Anti-skid is on. Center reversionary standby instruments can come on. You can hear them. And you can see them. Right there. Power levers are in fact an idle. Propeller lever can come full forward. And condition levers remain at cutoff. Bleeder is off. Temp mode is off. Battery can come on. Triple feed need 22. I have 25. Center bus need 23. I have 26. So our ICAS can come on. Quick check of our so we're going to push our firewall valves closed. We're going to extinguish eliminated. We're going to put our standby pumps to on. Fuel pressure low is eliminated. We're going to open our shutoffs. Extinguish becomes gone. Fuel pressure low is also gone. As soon as we kill our standby pumps, we're going to see fuel pressure low come back. We're going to go transfer pumps. Transfer right. Transfer left light on. Okay. Airfill message is on. Move our prop levers ever so slightly. Turn our avionics alternate blower on. Airfill message disappears. Blower message comes on. Turn that back off. Cast message returns. Fuel quantity checked. Oxygen pressures confirmed. Cabin lights as required. External lights as required. Always make it a habit of turning those off. Seatbelts on. There we go. Strobes to low. Nav lights on. Okay, engine start. We're doing it off battery. So, we're going to go. Let's get our props in full forward there again. And we're going to put our condition levers into cutoff. There we go. So, right ignition coming on. You can hear it, and one's starting to come up. 12%. We're going to introduce fuel. There it is. ITT is going to come up. 1061 was peak. Oil pressure, oil temperature, both coming up as well. Generator can come, or starter can come off, generator can come on. Amperage picked up, perfect. And I can go to run. And duplicate for left. Started coming on left side. Temps and pressures coming up. And one's into 65. Starter can come off. Generator come on. Sharing the load. Left engine can go to run. We're going to do Gentie tests. Gentie is open. Got the cast message. Triple feed. It's good. Gentie is open, becomes extinguished. And generator load is parallel and shared. Before taxi, we can get our avionics to come on. Standby indicators are both on already. We get our bleed air. Get our temperature. Airhosel is doing its thing. Well, let's see how this goes. All right. Oh. Got to insert the diskettes. Okay. Let's do that again. There we go. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but you hear the floppy disk doing his thing. Which is kind of fun. We got our message. Or update our VLF location from FMS. And that message will disappear. Nav source, FMS. Cool. Okay. I believe our radar's already on standby. It is. Brakes can be released. We're going to do before takeoff abbreviated, because no one wants to see me do all my autopilot tests. Okay. But let's set some other stuff up here. We're going to go to 8,500 as our planned altitude. Go. We're going to vertical speed 1,500 feet a minute. Nav mode. Everything else is looking happy. I put my headset on in the plane here now that everything's up and running. We should probably contact ground here. We are going to depart towards the south.
Ground, Beechcraft, November 786 Bravo Papa, ready to taxi. South departure.
Beechcraft, November 786 Bravo Papa. Taxi to and hold short runway tree 2 via taxiway. Contact tower on 1 tree 4.6 when ready.
Taxi 2 and hold short runway tree 2 via taxiway. Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa.
Okay. And I just want to pull up a via taxiway. There really is none. So just hit that Kodiak right there, I guess. All right. So let's go to tower. Hold short.
Tower,
Waiting.
Beechcraft, November 786 Bravo Papa. Ready for south departure at runway tree 2.
Beechcraft, November 786 Bravo Papa. Altimeter 29908 departure to the south approved. Cleared for takeoff runway tree 2.
Cleared for takeoff 3-2. 6 Bravo Papa.
Cleared for takeoff runway tree 2. Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa.
So I'm gonna have to taxi. Back taxi because there is no I guess maybe that's supposed to be the taxiways. They just look exceptionally tiny. I believe my upward landing gear would actually be in the grass if we were to use those taxiways. Look more like walkway. And let's line up on 3-2. Set my parking brake real quick and bring back up our checklist. Annunciators are off, surface DS is off, pressurization is fine, rate knob at 10. Clock-ish it is, cabin altitude control is fine, avionics are fine. We're not going to mess with our autopilot right now. Flaps are down. Auto feather is armed. Stand bell altimeter is also set. Good there. Now, before takeoff finals, we can get our heats on. Install pitot cables. Leaders both. Transponder can come to on. Windshield heat is to low. Engine auto ignition, generator loads, all that's good. Takeoff, brakes hold, torque 100%, AFX message, brake released. We're going to rotate around 95, 96 knots. We're light because we don't have passenger much, and we do have some weight and fuel, but that's about it. And my lovely co-pilot lady. And hit that. Okay. Bring our power in. AFX is enabled. Now this isn't FIDIC controlled, so one thing you got to be real careful from. Okay, we're going to release our brakes. There's 100. Actually kind of have to walk the power back as you accelerate down the runway. Or shoot for a lower number like 95. Unfortunately, Starship is a little slow on the acceleration. It's 96. V1. Rotate. We're up. Landing gears up. We can get our flaps up as well.
Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa. Continue for south departure.
Thank you.
Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa. Leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
Tower, Beechcraft November 786 Bravo Papa. Frequency change.
Yeah, lost our flight plan. That's alright.
Tokyo Center, Beechcraft November 786 Bravo Papa is type Beechcraft Starship, 3 miles northwest of Romeo Juliet Foxtrot Charlie, 2500. Request flight following. Beechcraft November 786 Bravo Papa, Tokyo Center, Squawk Tree 125.
3-1.
Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa, radar contact 3 miles west of Romeo Juliet Foxtrot Charlie, 3900. Altimeter 2-9-9-8.
9 or 9 or 8. 6 Bravo Papa.
Roger. Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa.
Alright. Let's get this back up here. Have a look. We're in our climb. Yellow damper can come on. There it is. Climbing out. We will clear those mountains. Climb power is right around 90%. Prop sync can go on. Engines look happy. Cab personalization, all that is looking good. Everybody is happy. So let's just double check our flight plan in here, which we didn't do, but hey, it's there. We're looking good. I'm going to turn my arc map on. Arc map. Just the range a little. There's our flight. Get our annunciator that we're coming up towards our cruising altitude, 8,500. Happens real quick in this. And apparently blew right through it. That's interesting. Ah, did I have it set at 89, not 85? Okay, that was my mistake then. Slowly come down here. Okay. Couple things I wanted to mess about with this. This does have a controller for the autopilot. So flight level change does not work. I'll pull back on that power. We're going a little fast. Or are we? Okay, we're at 8,500. Let's just gonna make that adjustment to 9. Is this gonna work? Flight level change. 4 in the power. Okay. That does work. Cool. Okay. Very cool. So this can be helpful in the Starship, given that you do not actually have a flight level change. You sort of do, sort of don't. So for me, that's kind of cool. Let's get in cruise power 97 or less. Auto feather can come off. Lights is required. Engine display. Fuel quantities check. 13. Yep. Oh, it's looking good. Okay, let's put that away. A few other things I really like about this. You do have, in the utilities, you have kind of a VFR style map. Apparently, it does not think I'm currently on course. So I'm actually following this. That's okay, I think. Flight plan. Interesting. For whatever reason, it thinks we're already hit that waypoint. Let's have a look. Well, for the time being, we're going to just ignore that. It's basically taking us out to these islands and then back over here. The idea with that was at least we stayed within the gliding distance of kind of a landmass of some kind. In the event something goes really wrong, we have some smaller little places we can crash closer to, I guess is the best way to put it. So that guy.
Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa contact. Nah, AFB Center on 1.32. Good day.
132.3. Oops.
Going to 1.32. Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa. Nah, AFB Center. Beechcraft November 786 Bravo Papa 8500. Beechcraft November 786 Bravo Papa. Nah, AFB Center. Altimeter 29908. Radar contact continue.
Donka. Now, one thing that I haven't really figured out with this quite yet is how in the world it's gonna, if I try to load it back in, it will not. Yeah, it does the whole thing over again, which I don't like. And I have no way to minimize. But anyway, we don't need that around right now. I want to put my yoke back here. Check on my lovely co-pilot. Hello, co-pilot. Lovely co-pilot lady. Are we doing the things we're supposed to be doing? Got a pretty high-speed cruise. That's fine by me. And some cool little islands coming up here. Let's have a look from the outside. It's going to get a little loud. See if we can't get some decent views. All right, let's pull back on our power. RPM, rather. Don't need to run the engines that hard. Get them into the green. Roughly 1600. A little bit further. There. We like green numbers. Green, green, green. All green. Cruising at 275 true. 240 indicated, and 279 ground. So we've got a little 12 knot crosswind, almost directly across. So it's looking all happy. Now, oops. Now it is back to, I guess, monitoring. And if someone hops in the chat here, guess we'll have a chitty chat. Looks like there's a few people in. Wouldn't mind hearing from any of them. Turn on the half bank. It just makes nice smooth banks. Oh. Getting a little bit more wind. This cool little chain of islands all through Japan. It kind of just links up everything. I find it's very, very cool. Does this pop me up? No, it doesn't. Look out here. Get some glamour shots. Let's hop back inside here. Alright. A few fun things we can do here. Let's go to index. We can do fuel management. Got, oh, what's this? Yeah, sure. 1250. 57. So right around 2,500. We're just going to put 2,500. Good enough. Passengers. 120 pounds. Cargo 180. Takeoff 11:46. Or that's what we'll arrive, sorry. So we're gonna lose about 1,000 pounds. That's fuel. No, we don't want to do that. Trip planning. We're about to make our turn. I've got it in half bank mode, so it's only gonna make shallow turns. Bit more like a airliner-esque. Should zero out somewhere around there. We're actually going to pick up some speed. We've got with this turn, we've got almost a nearly 12 knot tailwind. So ground speed 285, 284, 285. True 270. So that's about right. Whoa. 270 plus 15. 285, 286. Oh, that tailwind's getting stronger. Either way, it's giving us a helping hand. Who doesn't want a helping hand, right? There we go. This plane just hauls. Fuel burn is high-ish. 470 pounds an hour. Or sorry, 870 pounds an hour, roughly. So that's a pretty substantial fuel burn, but we have the fuel on board and we can push the range, because why not? Let's just get this plugged in, because whoa! What the hell's happening there? Whoa. That's a first. Maybe we'll save that. Okay, let's diagnose what the hell happened there. I believe we lost our engines. We did. Rate starter on. Fuel flow. There's one engine. Let's get our left starter on. Let's get that fuel in. My goodness, no idea what happened there. My guess is I bumped a connection for my Turtle Beach, because that has happened before for sure. Okay. That can come off. Generator can come on. Oh my god, what's going on there? Right, gen and op. Okay. Woo, that's exciting. It's exciting. Lost a lot of height there. Okay, let's initialize. Same thing over here. There we go. Nav source FMS. Let's get our nav autopilots on. Let's get back up to altitude here. That was an experience. I know the sim does have the ability to fail systems, but I'm pretty confident that was a hardware issue. And we're going to go back up. Wow. Okay. All right. So we're climbing back up here. See if we can't make that never happen again. Because that sucked. Like I need to sort out some sort of cable management, because that was not fun. That was not fun at all. Stop it. Stop it, I tell you. Stop it. Alright, since we can mess around here a bit, let's have a look. Ooh, that's zoomed in. Clearly, I can see the speed rate from that. Okay. VOR frequencies. So this is a DME format. VOR1. Okay, cool. Let's get our nav radios. If we just click this set. Okay, it did set, it just didn't show up. It's going to show us a VOR. Right there. Come up to our 8500 again. That's good. So we don't have to die, because that was scary. Core heading a 182.
Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa, contact Naha AFB approach on 124.905. Good day.
Naha. 124.5. Good day.
124.905. Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa. Naha AFB approach.
Naha.
Beechcraft November 786 Bravo Papa, 8400.
Beechcraft November 786 Bravo Papa, Naha AFB approach. Altimeter 29905. Radar contact, continue.
Naha. Okay. Okay. Now, so that is that VOR there. The next one. Let's load that into nav2. A 11045. Put that there. And then we should be able to go through the format. DME VOR2. There's our VOR2. And what's our flight plan? It's this guy here. Heading 237 heading. 2. Somewhere around there. Roughly. Okay. What does that say? Brightness? Okay. Huh. Cool. There we go. 9.7-ish nautical miles. As we're puffing through the clouds. Let's have a look outside. Oh, look at that. You can see them growing. Look at that. That's cool. That is cool. Alright. Let's get 1600 on the RPM. Interesting, we have slower speeds. Okay, cool. In case anything else come off. Everything else is looking happy. It's 24 degrees in the cabin. It's avionics. Let's get that blower on. Cool it down just a touch. And a nice smooth half bank turn. And since we're here, let's go to VOR. It's gonna want us to come back on that power, that's for sure. See if that stabilizes there. And VOR2. Let's have a quick look again at our planning. Got some clouds are going to pop through here. Let's get this. Got 1045. Is that not what we're tracking right now? Yeah, okay, cool. My bad. Let's have a look over here. This we can tune to VOR1 again. 113.1. So that in nav 1. So if we go back to nav 1, there it is. And right now, heading to RJNK, sorry, RJKN and RJKB, so 207 heading. Course. So the course will actually be Somewhere around there. Okay. And we'll just tune into nav2, VOR2. And there we are. Enjoying the Starship. I'll hop in the back here, because I can. But unfortunately, I don't believe I can use the lav.
Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa contact Naha AFB Center on 1 tree 2 decimal trees. Good day.
I come in. 1323.
Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa. Did you copy?
Oops.
Going to 1 tree 2 decimal tree. Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa. Naha AFB Center. Beechcraft November 786 Bravo Papa 8500. Beechcraft November 786 Bravo Papa. Naha AFB Center. Altimeter 29905. Radar contact continue.
It's loud out there. It's pretty loud. Pretty. Who we got flying out right now? Kenko is going up. Oh, hey, look, there's me.
Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa contact Naha AFB approach on 124 decimal 905. Good day.
12495. Good day.
124 decimal 905 for Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa. AFB approach.
Nah.
Beechcraft November 786 Bravo Papa, 8500.
Beechcraft November 786 Bravo Papa, Naha ASB approach. Altimeter 299er5. Radar contact, continue.
Okay, so how does that work? Over here. How can I adjust my heading? Tilt, range. Decision height. Hmm. This will adjust the course over here. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. Okay. More little islands in Japan. Which means we're, what, 10 nautical miles from the next airport? So that must be right over here. Somewhere, I'm guessing. Can we see through the clouds? Oh, that looks suspiciously like a runway. Right in there, maybe. Or it could be the ghosting that Xbox likes to do. Sorry about that, guys. Just had a quick email I had to respond to. Hey, good morning, sir. How are you? Enjoying this lovely Friday? Oh, must be getting that tailwind. Yeah. Start of the weekend. That's a good way to be. Yeah, I've got a busy one myself. Wife's got a company work function. I guess it's the Christmas party that they do every year. So we're going to that tonight. Headed downtown and gonna spend the weekend downtown, and should be fun. Should be fun. So I wanted to get a flight or two in today before we head downtown because the sim's been down for a day or two for me anyway, and just finally getting back onto things. You got any plans for the weekend? That's some very strong winds up here. Oh, there we go. Let's get some best viewers. Ah, I hate when that happens. When you're ready to go and stuff gets in the way. Hopefully the winds die down and you can do your solo. Man, it's so much fun when you finally get to solo. Scary as all hell, but it's so much fun. I remember my first time. Man, it was an experience. The decided to have some significant crosswinds as it was my turn to solo. Landed, taxied back to the apron. CFI hopped out. You know, he grabbed his radio and he stood out there. And as soon as I got up into pattern, of course, we had to get some strong crosswinds. And at the time, I did not feel confident in my crosswind landings, but I guess that's the whole point of it, right? You find comfort in the discomfort. Yeah, man, honestly, that is something that never really gets practiced. And I saw a lot of people struggling with was taxiing. Uh, I guess just because the cost, right? I mean, it costs so much money to sit there and burn avgas to drive around on the ground. Um, kind of seems a little silly, I guess. Let's have one. Yeah, yeah, getting your feet, sorting out your feet. That's very much a thing. You want to get away from the habit of feeling like you're driving a car, which a lot of people do. Um, I thought many times about doing the whole CFI route and teaching, just because, I don't know, I enjoyed it, but also at the same time during COVID, it was, I don't know, it was a bit of a mess. A lot of CFIs, a lot of people going into flight training, and um, my CFI, he was over from Dubai to learn here, and then he had planned to stay, and I guess probably 6 to 8 months after I was done my training with him, he ended up having to return to Dubai. As unfortunately his sister passed away, and she had I think it was 2 or 3 kids. So him and his wife, they went back to Dubai, and then he finished up some training there, and I believe he's with the airlines over there now. But yeah, that was something we worked on. I actually asked if we could. It was expensive because you're just burning gas driving around the airport, but getting used to controlling your direction with your feet is a big deal. And it is kind of counterintuitive to what most people are used to. Gotta love power off 1/8. Yeah, I mean, honestly, um, it's. I personally think it's a great way to learn how to land. You should have everything set up so that when it's time to land, you don't need to feed any power in. If you can figure out how to land without having to feed any power in, do any of those adjustments, you're way ahead of the game. Who needs engines anyway, right? Every plane's a glider if you're brave enough. It's funny because I remember my CFI kind of doing the same thing. Uh, Power off 180s, power off landings altogether. And for some reason, I genuinely preferred it to coming in with power on. It almost became one less thing to think about. As long as you had, you lined up, everything was good. You were um, had a good descent profile. Everything was happy. It was just one less thing to worry about. Um, but obviously, you need to learn how to land with power on too. But uh, helicopters are gliders. I'm not that brave though. I've uh, I've gone up and done an auto rotation. I wasn't flying it. I mean, I got to kind of mess about, but um, that's something I need to finish doing. So once you have your fixed wing, getting your rotaries cheaper and easier, way less time. So a lot of it transfers over, but I've been up and done auto rotations with capable pilots, and it was a lot of fun, but kind of scary, honestly. So seeing somehow I have comfort in seeing a wing when I look out to the left or right. Just otherwise, I feel like you're just floating on magic. I understand wings. See, Starship's got a little one right there. That's what keeps me in the air. A diving board. Oh, go through her head. One out there. Yeah, float rating, man. I don't know. That's like a dream. I think that would have been such a cool job to get into. Where I'm at, they've got Harbor Air, and you see these uh, tons of beavers, which is super cool. I've always loved the beaver, huge radial engine. But then I think they've got now they've got turbine converted beavers, and then I guess a couple of years ago they started working on it, but it was an e-beaver, so an electronic or fully electric um, beaver. And I know they flew to some shows and things like that. And then there was another one that was at a local air show. It was using a diesel, I think it was like some sort of V12 diesel aviation motor. Really cool looking. But I don't know. Up in Canada, that was always something cool. But I never liked floats until I got older. I felt like as a kid, I just wanted stuff that was fast. I want to fly in something that goes fast. I always wanted the, F-14. I'm old, so, well, I guess, old. Top Gun came out when I was born. I remember I've got photos of my dad and I when I was really little sitting on the couch watching Top Gun, so I always wanted fighter jets and stuff. But being in Canada, our fighter jets are kind of laughable. We've still got old CF-18s, which are A models that are well beyond their
Beechcraft
lifespan.
6 Bravo Papa contact Naha ASB Center on 132.3. Good day.
Going to 1 tree, 2 decimal tree. Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa. Naha AFB Center. Beechcraft November 786 Bravo Papa, 8500.
Yeah,
Beechcraft November 786 Bravo Papa. Naha AFB Center. Altimeter 29905. Radar contact continue.
I think it would have been really cool to experience that at a younger age, for sure. I think it would have been something that,
Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa contact. Naha AFB approach
man,
on 126
gotta love
decimal 5.
ATC,
Good day.
the base sim.
Going to 126 decimal 5. Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa. Naha AFB approach. Beechcraft November 786 Bravo Papa, 8500.
Beechcraft November 786 Bravo Papa. Na AFB approach. Altimeter 29905. Radar contact. Continue.
Thanks, Chief. Cool. Yeah, on floats would have been a lot of fun. So many of the places I can think of when I was growing up were on the water. Everything was near water. There was always water around. But for some reason, it never caught my eye until it was older. And I saw how cool it could be, and having cabins on lakes, and the idea of flying people up for hunting trips or fishing trips. And I don't know, it was a missed opportunity, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I think you mentioned you'd fly up there with your grandpa, and then all the nonsense between the border crossing and stuff caused issues, and he wasn't too thrilled with that, which I can't blame him. is kind of nonsensical. If you can hold a pilot's license in North America, crossing the border shouldn't even be a question. Sweet. My kid's teacher asked me if I could help out with a field trip. I got to do criminal record checks and all that stuff. So at first she said she hasn't received it back, but my wife's came back and that was fine. But now apparently she checked again and mine's cleared. I was worried for a second there. I mean, my criminal record is checked daily, so there definitely shouldn't be one. Yeah, those boys must have been bored that day. Sounds like they just, yeah, I don't know. That's just not treating people right. Frankly, even if he was somewhere that he shouldn't have been, all they needed to do was like, hey, for next time, just know this and no worries, enjoy fishing with your grandson, and that's it. But, yeah. Doesn't always work that way, I guess. See, but now you got to do the same thing. You got to get that float rating and get a float plane, and when you have kids, or if you have kids or family members, take them up and do the same thing. Take them fishing. Or floating down a river, or whatever the hell you want to do, really. That freedom is yeah, take him fishing. That would, life gone full circle. That's how it should be. Yeah, once you've got soloed and everything else like that, does your flight school let you take passengers even when you got a CFI? I know that was actually something that was kind of encouraged. And we'd have other students, if you're waiting on your I always showed up early, so if you're there early and you're waiting on your flight instructor, or your plane was out or something, you go hop in one of the other students' planes in the back seat. And they like to kind of demonstrate that because it changes the dynamic how the plane flies with the weight and balance and all that stuff. But that was in 172s and like Cherokee 180s. I think you mentioned you were in a 152. So no backseat for you. Do you have to do like a certification to fly the 172 with the club? I feel like nowadays glass is easy to fly. I feel like so many pilots nowadays forget what any of the round dials actually mean. As I fly a Starship. But And I'm guessing the wet rate with the CFI in a 172 is probably pretty high right now. Ah, okay. That makes more sense.
Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa contact NIFB approach on 121.1. Good day.
Going to 121.1. Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's expensive.
Naha AFB approach. Beechcraft November 786 Bravo Papa, 8500.
And kind of like you said, with
Beechcraft
the
November
flying you want to do,
786 Bravo Papa. Naha AFB approach.
it doesn't make a lot of sense, really, even to look at the flying the 172. I mean, having the extra space in the back is cool, but the have extra two seats that you won't really ever fill, because a 172 is horrific when it comes to being able to fill up seats and use fuel at the same time. But I guess once you've soloed, will they let you take up someone who isn't a CFI? I don't know how the rules work where you're at. Actually, I don't remember how they worked where I was flying at, because I kind of refused to take anybody on my own until I had my full PPL, and at which point you kind of do whatever the hell you want. But just out of an abundance of caution, I'm an old man, so I wanted to make sure I had everything figured out before I loaded any family or friends in there. Yeah, in all honesty, I'm pretty sure that's the way it has to be here as well. Yeah. I mean, that's how I experienced it here, so I assume that's probably how it's got to be. I didn't even bother to ask anything otherwise. Was really no point, I guess. But it was fun once you get your PPL. If you're with another, I guess, class of students or group of students who start at the same time as you, doing your cross countries and stuff, and flying with other people, it definitely made it enjoyable. I actually kind of found it too quiet when I started doing more solo flights, just without having, you know, my CFI, who was a really cool guy. So it was always nice to kind of have him there. And I felt like once I got the hang of things, he just kind of sat there and and pointed out things, or would try to give me scenarios to think about while I was flying. And when he wasn't there, it was weird. It was weird not having somebody in that seat. I definitely prefer to fly with somebody to keep you company, something to chat about. And instruments are always fun to stare at for a while, but eventually they get kind of boring. Which is one of the cool things about streaming, actually. It's kind of like you got your own aviation buddies hanging around with you. And what are we going to do for a procedure here? Flight plan. Oh, that's interesting. It doesn't see where I am. .22 knots. Good God, this is going to be fun. Okay. Let's make that go away.
Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa, contact Naha AFB Center on 119er decimal tree. Good day.
119er decimal tree for Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa.
I feel like you said that in for 6 Bravo Papa.
AFB Center, Beechcraft November 786 Bravo Papa, 8500. Beechcraft November 786 Bravo Papa, Naha AFB Center, altimeter 299er5, radar contact continue. Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa, contact Naha AFB approach on 119er decimal 1. Good day. 119.1. Beechcraft 6 Bravo Papa.
Okay. Well, we are VFR, so why not? Let's do some flying. So you said the weather wasn't playing nice, but you feel like you're ready to go for the ready to go for your solo. Obviously, if you're feeling that way, then chances are your CFI is too. Yeah, I think it'll be pretty cool. Generally speaking, if they say you're ready, then yeah, you're ready. He's so windy. Yeah, midway through this flight, my whole Turtle Beach decided to reset everything. That was fun. Good, that's off. That was exciting. I believe that's the runway right there. Yes, it is. I'm not going to mess with ATC because they're horrific in the base simulator. Gear, landing lights. Yes, yes, AFX is off. some flappy flaps. Come in under the glad slope. And then fight a 25 knot headwind. 27. Oh. Oh. Ho, ho. Feels like my first solo. See if I wreck. Whoa. The hell was that? It's gonna be some high speed landing. And well off center. And float. And my beta didn't work. Cool. That's alright. Oh. One engine in beta, one not. That'll do less than desirable things when you land. Bush flying. A GB-180, that's a fun little plane to fly. Little red guy there. Squeaky brakes. Pitot overheat. No, we're not going to get fuel currently. Let's get some of those heats off. Parking brake is set. Feather the props. I think I'm gonna take a break here. So I got my daughter home from school because she's sick. Maybe go make her some brunch or some lunch of some kind. Let's run through, check this real quick. After landing, yep. Stand by. Yeah, you too, man. Or you're gonna do a flight today, right? Flaps up, props feathered. I'll have to come bug you on your stream if you're going to be doing some flying today. There we is. Last stop in Japan before heading to Taiwan and then towards Australia. Well, this is where I gotta click through here. Here it is. Wheel chocks. There we is. That one. Yes, it is. Wonder, they sell Jet A? Slightly blurry. I think I need my spectacles. They got air. They've got exploding hands and steering wheels. Careful. Ooh. A yellow car. You can run. Run. Now, what is that supposed to be? That looks like a Sprinter. Or like a Ford Transit van. What is this? Cadillac CTS lower grille. Oh, can I walk through it? I can. Can I sit? Nope. Alright, well, we made it. I'd say this airport's particularly cool. We made it. Alright, well, thanks for for the chat, Jake, and yeah, I'll probably be on in a little bit. Just gonna go make some food for the kid. We'll catch you then.